All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Biotech Boom, a series where we cover exciting news and price action in the land of COVID-related biotechs. You guys, this sector could not have closed out the week any stronger. Christmas is coming early this year, and I couldn't be more stoked to talk to you guys about some of these names today. So let's just get straight into it. As always, we'll go over each topic that we're going to be discussing, and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, of course, TradingView, where we will take a look at the following names today, going down the watch list in this order: Moderna, Sorrento, Inovio, and Novavax. Double-digit gains across the board here today, you guys. You love to see it. It's about as exciting as price action gets in this sector. And of course, we will spend some time on the charts. I'll let you guys know what I'm thinking in terms of future potential price action. But of course, this price action is followed by news. So in terms of news, the first article we're going to be taking a look at today is titled "AstraZeneca's Extra Global Vaccine Trial as Questions Mount." So, of course, you guys, AstraZeneca, one of the top three in the race to an efficacious COVID vaccine. AstraZeneca, Moderna, and Pfizer. And AstraZeneca has actually reached a hurdle. They might need to run another round of trials for their vaccine just to prove further efficacy. And that's good news for the rest of the sector, you guys. Although it does seem like many of these stocks are correlated, like today, you can see green across the board here. A lot of the competitors are doing well, but it's important to remember that this is still a competition. This is still a race, and there will be winners and there will be losers as well. So I'm not saying AstraZeneca by any means is a loser, but this definitely pushes them back in the race, and I think that's the reason we're seeing a lot of these competitors, these other vaccine-related stocks, do very well today. Okay, so we will kick it off with this. We will then move into, my favorite stock in the sector today. This stock paid so heavily today, super grateful. Moderna. Broker revenue forecasts for Moderna are surging higher. So this is pretty much forecast for Moderna's profit, for just their financials. And this is very important to go over. Obviously, when you're investing in a stock, you want them to do well financially. And this is obvious to probably many of us, but it's always good to get these analyst forecasts and just kind of solidify what we've all been thinking, okay? So we will go over this as well. Moving on to Sorrento. Big news for Sorrento. This is very tangible news. Sorrento receives $34 million federal contract for COVID treatment. This is huge news for Sorrento, you guys. And just a hint right now, Sorrento is looking very strong technically. It's very simple strength, but you guys will understand when we get around to it, okay? But very bullish news for Sorrento. I'm very glad to see it. I do want to kick this off. I'm just going to do this right now, you guys, just because today was such an amazing day. We're closing out such a great week, you guys. So skip ahead a couple of minutes if you don't want to hear me talk about this, but I got to go over this for the Waves family. What a day, guys. I didn't think this week could get any better, but we're closing it out with an absolute banger. We don't need no Black Friday discounts. We're rich. Kidding, but I'm personally going to feel much less guilty pressing that add to cart button today. Christmas is definitely coming early this year. Treat yourself, Waves family. Get something extra nice for your loved ones. 'Tis the season for you and your loved ones, okay? Treat yourself and treat those around you that you love. Thanksgiving is over, but I still encourage you to practice gratitude every day. Fortunately, days like these make it exceptionally easy. We're truly blessed, guys. Remember that. Okay, so we're not going to go any further than that. But again, you guys, it's just be thankful. Thanksgiving's over, but like I said in my last video, it's just so important, especially when you're doing well and when you're not doing well. That's actually one of the more important, to practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for what you have. Obviously, at times like these, it's very easy to say. It's easier said than done. Actually, no, it's easier done and easy to say as well. But you guys, on bad days, on every day of your life, it's important to practice gratitude. And I'm just super thankful to be on this journey with you guys and experience days like today with you guys. Like Moderna, again, you guys, Moderna, Sorrento treated us very well this morning. So shout out to the Waves family, you guys. Let me know what you're planning on buying for Black Friday, what you're treating yourself to, what you're eating, what you're cheersing. Of course, drop it down in the comments below. I love to talk shop with you guys. Actually, not even talking shop, just talking life with you guys. So talk to you downstairs right off the bat. But that said, let's get into it before we do, of course. So please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today, or if you're invested in any of the stocks we're talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. And of course, check out my complete portfolio daily newsletter. Join the Waves fam. And you guys, I feel zero guilt plugging this at all, just because we've been doing so freaking well. And I'm sorry, you guys, no Black Friday discounts here. I do that out of respect for my current subscribers. But I do my best to make it worth it, and I truly do feel it's worth it. So first link in the description if you're interested. If not, no worries at all. Let's kick it off with this. We will go over each article. So we'll go over this article. We'll go over the Moderna article. We'll take a look at Moderna, move on to the Sorrento article, and then just go down the rest of the watch list, okay? Additional tests shouldn't delay regulatory approval, CEO says. Different efficacy readouts for Oxford shot raise questions. Okay, AstraZeneca's PLC's COVID-19 vaccine looks like it's headed for an additional global trial as the drug maker tries to clear up uncertainty and confusion surrounding favorable results in its current study. The company wants the new test to confirm the 90% efficacy rates that the shot showed in a portion of an existing trial. The CEO, Pascal Soriot, said it's favoring that option rather than adding an arm to a separate study that's already underway in the US. Questions are mounting over one of the fastest moving shots after the company acknowledged that a lower dosage level that appeared more effective resulted from a manufacturing discrepancy. The company and its partner, the University of Oxford, didn't initially disclose the error and other key details, leading to the concern over their transparency. So, again, you guys, if you're going to play shady in this sector, you're going to have to bite the bullet. That's not good, you guys. If this is like one of the few sectors in the entire market that transparency is paramount, you guys. Like, transparency is so crucial. And if you're showing the slightest bit of shadiness, then that's gonna damage your stock. And AstraZeneca surprisingly wasn't all that damaged today. Market open took a little bit, but overall, it didn't do too poorly today, which is surprising. But again, it did result in so many of the other players doing extremely well. So that said, again, that is the primary catalyst, in my opinion, as to why many of these other names in the sector did so well. So let's talk about one of those, my favorite one personally. Shareholders in Moderna may be thrilled to learn that the analysts have just delivered a major upgrade to their near-term forecast. The consensus estimated revenue numbers rose, with their view now clearly much more bullish on the company's business prospects. They go on to say, we'll see if it went to 109. We'll be curious to see if these new estimates convince the markets to lift the stock price higher. And it obviously did. Moderna scratched 130 today. That is insane. Following the upgrade, the current consensus from Moderna's 16 analysts is for revenues of $6 billion in 2021, which, if met, would reflect a major increase on its sales over the past 12 months. The losses are expected to disappear over the next year or so, with forecast for a profit of $4.17 per share next year. Sentiment certainly seems to have improved in recent times, with a nice gain to revenue and a slight bump in earnings per share estimates. So obviously, again, you guys, you're investing in stocks, you're investing in companies. You want companies to be making money. And again, the beauty of Moderna, I'll say this every time we cover it, is that the fact that this mRNA-based vaccine is proving efficacious at a high level, like 95% efficacy, opens the floodgates to the rest of their pipeline of vaccines. These companies, you guys, aren't just working on a COVID vaccine. Moderna specifically, they have an entire pipeline of other vaccines that they want to work on. And now that their methodology is validated with this COVID vaccine, again, it just opens the pipeline and opens so much more revenue potential for Moderna go over the coming years. So long term, obviously bullish for Moderna, short term bullish as well. Let's take a look at these technicals. Okay, so just on Monday or something, whenever the last time I covered Moderna was, in the newsletter on Wednesday, this is when I drew this. And I thought Moderna saw a nice run up on Wednesday on the 24th, and I thought it was guaranteed that we would come up to test this long-term line of resistance on the long-term uptrend at about $115. As you can see here, this morning, we just we literally gapped right through it. And the fact that we gapped through it signaled a long-term breakout. So Moderna right now is technically broken out. I will zoom out right now to show you guys what these lines are and why this green one was so significant. But again, you guys, we gapped out. Traders saw that. A lot of traders for sure. Traders with a lot of capital too. They're going to be looking at these long-term trend lines. And again, Moderna did signal a breakout. Okay, so short-term, I will say that my next price target for Moderna, just using my historic trend lines, is going to be around the $150 level. Obviously, $150, pretty significant psychological even. Will it hit that? I don't know, but I think it'll. Okay, so at some point, this is what I'm very, very convinced of will happen. I do think we'll see a correction in Moderna, and I think it's very likely we come to use this line that was a historical line of resistance and use it as support. So keep an eye on this green line. Keep an eye on the 115 to 120 level as we move over the coming weeks, because I think this line, who knows when it will be, but once we see a correction, I think this line that was, again, once historical resistance will come into play as new support. Okay, when that is, I don't know. Maybe we'll reach 150 before coming back down to test it, because the fundamentals are just so bullish. But just keep an eye on that, you guys, okay? And be safe. I'd personally advise caution around these levels and after a crazy run like this, okay? So we'll zoom out quick and then we'll move on to Sorrento, the Sorrento news. So let's go to, we'll go to year to date. That should take us to daily here. Okay, so again, Moderna, Moderna probably our oldest friend on the channel, you guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you're an OG to that extent. If you watch those original Moderna videos and you've been on the roller coaster ride. You guys, crazy. So over the course of this rally, beginning in March, crazy that we've been talking about it for so long and that it's done us so well over the months. You can see here, this top line of resistance is my absolute like, I'm not saying Moderna can't get higher than that, which would take us to around $200 prior to the end of the year, $215 actually prior to the end of the year if we go up to test it. And that comes from a few points of contact over here near the beginning of the rally. Okay, so we see here, starting in March, you get another touch point in mid-April, pretty conservative touch points here in mid-May as we reach that first peak around $85 back in May. And that is the top line of resistance. You could actually use this one, and it would be even more optimistic. I'm not doing that, though. This is conservative. This center line is what will be coming into play next, okay? So I do think that this is a very conservative trend line up. You can just see here, like, again, you guys, this isn't rocket science. This isn't even like, this is arguably not even like technical. This is not a technical indicator. This is just looking at general trend lines, which I personally have found to be almost the most effective over moving averages, like technical indicators. Like, I just look, especially because I'm a swing trader, I just look at these long-term trend lines and they've proven so solid and so reliable. So I do think that this will likely come into play. It does coincide nicely with the $150 region, which, again, psychological evens, especially in this 2020 market, are important. People are going to be looking at the 150 region. I'd be very surprised even if there wasn't a trend line here, if we didn't see some resistance around 150. Okay. So I'm looking at this personally right here, you guys. Again, Moderna did break out of this green line right here, which was his first top in mid-May, the second one in mid-July. And as you can see, I was so positive we'd use that as resistance, but we broke straight through it. We gapped straight through it. And again, that signaled a breakout. So we are broken out in Moderna. It's hard to tell where we're going to go from here. My guess in the midterm would be 150-ish. But again, you guys, I'm very confident that at some point the coming month is a conservative estimate. Over the coming month, more likely a few weeks, we'll probably come back down to test this trend line around 115 to 120, okay? So, will we go higher? Maybe. But we'll just have to see, as always. Okay, let's move on. Sorrento news. Shares of Sorrento Therapeutics spiked Friday after the biopharmaceutical company announced it had received a $34 million government contract to develop a coronavirus protection and/or treatment. The contract goes to its Smart Farm Therapeutics unit and comes from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, and the Joint Program Executive Office for Chemical, Biological, Radiological, and Nuclear Defense. The money will pay for the development through phase 2 clinical studies of a gene-encoded antibody, Sorrento said. The company said it will seek further funding in the support. What? Come on. The street, you guys. Come on, the street. Okay. In support for COVID gene MAB program toward EUA, emergency use authorization. Big word over the course of this pandemic if you're involved in the biotech space. Approval and large-scale manufacturing pending successful clinical studies. Okay, so again, you guys, the faster they can get this to market, because Sorrento has been killing it lately. Like, from a fundamental perspective, we've been covering Sorrento for a very long time as well, following their journey, following their product development, and it's been looking promising. That's why I've been long-term bullish on Sorrento, even over the course of the significant correction it's seen over the past couple months. Okay, but now, I've been saying in the newsletter, you guys, I've been feeling like it's only a matter of time. Like, these things work in cycles, and it's very visible on the chart. Like Moderna, you get news, pops off. News fades, the hype fades a little bit, we capitulate, go sideways, another piece of news, boom, see the same thing, another piece of news, and then it's likely we're gonna see the same thing, you guys. History doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. There we go. And I mean, it's obvious to me. So many lines here on the chart, super technical. You guys, I told you this is simple. Sorrento just broke a long-term downtrend, and Sorrento has broken out. So I think the short-term upside potential for Sorrento is significant right now, and I'm very excited to see where Sorrento goes now, because they have the fundamentals, which they always have. And now that they've corrected significantly, let's see if we can get a price range real quick. So price range, let's go from the top here at like $19. So we saw a correction in Sorrento of 73%. Okay, so the top being early August 10th, the bottom being November 10th. Nice and even right there. So 73% correction, you guys. That is about, for considering Sorrento's fundamentals really haven't changed. They've just gotten better. The more they work on these projects, the better they get, the less speculative it becomes, in my opinion. So, I mean, Sorrento is just, from every angle, looking great right now, and I'm very bullish on Sorrento. And again, technically, just super simple. It's broken this long-term downtrend. This is a trend that many traders are looking at, and I would be surprised if we don't see a significant move up in Sorrento. Price target for Sorrento, tough to say. We have had this $27 price target drawn here for months now, for probably close to half a year now, and that still remains my medium to long-term target. And that is the level that, after this next run, given everything goes accordingly, obviously there can be curveballs, which is possible. Never discount the fact that you can be thrown curveballs. I think we could see a run up to $27. I'm not even going to throw a date on it, but that's just my long-term price, medium to long-term price target, like a few months to half a year or so. Okay, so super excited to see where Sorrento goes next week. Definitely keeping a close eye on that. And let's take a look at Inovio. Again, you guys, I haven't looked at these in a long time, as you guys can tell. So Novavax Inovio, let's just delete all this. Again, I haven't looked at this in a while. So for full transparency, we're looking at this together with fresh eyes, or at least I am. You guys probably looked at this before me, to be honest. So Novavax, again, did technically break out. So you can see it did break out of this downtrend right here on November 10th. We've been going a little sideways. Saw a significant move up, a little bounce up from like $10 to $12. So that's, I mean, you're looking at a 25% move up there after it did break out of this long-term line of resistance on the downtrend. But you could paint a similar line like this now, and it did actually break out today with this 18% move up. So you could say Inovio is in an uptrend. I'm not familiar with news. You guys, please drop some knowledge down below if you guys know about news. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even look up Inovio or Novavax news. I just wanted to let you guys know what I'm seeing on the charts. And Inovio, once again, has broken this long-term downtrend, this long-term line of resistance, and it will be interesting to see if we can pick up some steam again. So Inovio is similar to Sorrento, a high of $33 and a low of about $8. So you're looking at close to a 75% correction there as well. And yeah, it will be interesting. Again, please keep me educated on the news. I could just look it up right now. I'll probably look it up after this. But yeah, you guys, in terms of technicals, it's looking pretty good. I think we could see a short move up. But again, you guys, you need to have solid fundamentals. That's the reason Sorrento and Moderna are doing exceptionally well, and I believe they'll continue to. Inovio, just because they're significantly behind in terms of clinical trials and whatnot. Again, you guys, plays like Inovio and Novavax, they do what? Inovio has a contract with South Korea, some sort of contract with South Korea, I believe. Novavax has one with India. So it doesn't necessarily mean just because they're further behind than some of the other players, plays like Moderna, Pfizer, that they won't still succeed. Like, because the entire world needs vaccines. Obviously, first mover advantage is very significant, but I'm not saying that these guys can't succeed. So if you guys are bullish on Inovio, let me know down below as well. And let me know why fundamentally. Because technically right now, short term, it looks good. And now that we've broken out, I think we will see a short move up. I wouldn't be surprised if we come up to test the $17 region more medium term, just because we've seen so many peaks there and so many bounces there. So $17, I think, could be very possible for Inovio, which is a pretty significant gain from $12.20 where it's at now. So we'll see if that happens. And who knows? We could see new all-time highs coming in 2021 for Inovio. Again, given fundamentals, it's all based in fundamentals. Novavax, last but not least. So Novavax has broken, similar here. You can see these, boom, pretty strong downtrend right here. So you can see it was a line of resistance, broke out of it, actually just immediately started using it as support, and then we just saw a significant move up right here. So again, you guys, like, this is kind of a weird chart in my eyes. So a pretty conservative trend line that I'm just seeing right now is like right here. Okay, so again, these are not by any means set in stone trend lines, you guys. This is just what I'm seeing on the charts from a lot of hours upon hours of looking at charts, like what I think might come into play here. And this right here looks like it's acted as a line of support right here. So Novavax, we didn't quite test it. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, 150 has just acted as such a historical ceiling for Novavax. Like you can see back here, it was like it played out of Head and Shoulders here. Spent a lot of time using 150 as a ceiling, which again makes sense. Similar to Moderna, you're gonna see these psychological events really be taken into account. So looking at this, maybe we'll see some resistance around this, but I think if we do just keep seeing this bullish momentum, which I think is very possible, I think 150 is a reasonable price target. Again, maybe it'll come here, bounce off a little bit, but I think we will ultimately reach 150 in Novavax, just because we have seen a breakout in both Inovio and Novavax. So it wouldn't surprise me to see like $17 Inovio, 150 in Novavax. But who knows? Again, it's all very dependent on news. So I'm sorry this wasn't more technical, but I would be surprised if we didn't see a 150 Novavax, again, given no curveballs are thrown and whatnot, and like a $15 to $17 Inovio, which is a pretty wide range. I'm sorry about that. But again, you guys, Moderna, Sorrento, those are the plays that I'm really keeping a close eye on right now. And yeah, let me know down below if you guys are fans of any other stocks. You can see Pfizer, BioNTech did all right today. VXRT popping off. VXRT at $7, so VXRT's catching up too. But again, you guys, these are I'm really keeping tunnel vision on a few, staying in my lane, because that's how I feel like I have the edge. You gotta find your edge, and that's how you capitalize. Okay, so let me know down below what you're trading right now. If you saw some gains in Moderna this morning, I saw a lot of messages already, but I mean, it's important to celebrate, you guys. It's important to celebrate the wins. It's a good little psychological message to you. Treat yourself. Again, that's good. That's a way that you can validate treating yourself. When you treat yourself, when you get yourself something nice after you do something good, you're more likely to do something good again, because you want those treats. Okay, so we'll call it there, you guys. Again, look forward to talking to you downstairs. If you want to know exactly how I'm trading these, once again, first link in the description. Join the newsletter, fam. And yeah, I appreciate it if you do. So catch you guys downstairs. Until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.